beyond.
Hello and good evening. Welcome. This is Hot Edition. We're live from News Abata Desawe Kanda. Also live on 3FM 927 on Facebook and also on X. This evening, I am Alfred Okanse. The new Patriotic Party declares Chairman Wontumi a political prisoner, vows to appeal his conviction. Stay with us. We've got details for you. The just ended press conference at the party's headquarters here in Accra. As we speak, Chairman Wontumi has been taken to Nsawam prison to begin his 20-year sentence. That's according to Dr. Palgrave Boachi Dankwa, who's going to be joining us as we go on here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. Also, still in the courts, the National Service Ghost Names case has been adjourned to July 31 as the defense reviews documents on frozen accounts. We have details of that as well here on Hot Edition. Plus, BEC results expected by July 31. Details of these and more here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. We're also live on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale and on W93.5 in Hua and beyond. There's been loads of reactions after Chairman Wontumi was slapped with a 20-year jail term. Stay with us. We've got some details for you. Safwa Boahen is here with a summary of the news. Safwa.
Yes, Alfred. Welcome to the news summary segment. Our first story, where convener of the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining, also known as Galamsey, Ken Ashigbe, has commended the judge who sat on the illegal mining case against Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP New Patriotic Party, Bernard Enchibu-Esiako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, for the courage in sentencing him. On Monday, July 20, an Accra High Court convicted Chairman Wontumi and his company Akonta Mining after finding them guilty of illegal mining offences at his Samreboi concession in the Western region. The lead counsel for the Ashanti Regional Chairman petitioned the court to adjourn the judgment against his client, which was slated for Monday 20 July, citing that he was out of the jurisdiction and would return on July 22. Minister for Education Haruna Idrisu has announced that the results of the 2026 Basic Education Certificate Examination BEC are expected to be released by July 31. This will pave the way for the computerized school selection and placement system process to begin. Speaking at the Government Accountability Series on Monday, July 20, the minister, beg your pardon, said the release of the results is the responsibility of the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, and assured that he would not interfere in the work of the assessment body. Away from that, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, BOG, Dr. Johnson Esiama, has said that the financial system the BOG regulates currently is no longer defined by or only by banks, balance sheets, and banking halls. He says it is increasingly shaped by digital platforms, payment networks, technology providers, and new forms of financial intermediation. Away from that, Ines trainee Vincent Amwamponsa has been found dead at his residence in Kwadaso in the Ashanti region under circumstances that have left his family demanding answers. According to family members and local sources, the deceased is believed to have died about 3 days before his body was discovered in the hall of his home. To a last story now, where for many Ghanaians the word tribunal still brings back memories of fear and military rule. The past history makes people instantly suspicious whenever the topic comes up today. However, media practitioner and analyst Austin Kwabena Bracco Powers argues that this fear comes from a big misunderstanding. He stresses that tribunals are not naturally evil or designed to deny citizens justice. And this is where we end our news summary segment, and I hand over to Alfred.
Thank you. So far, I appreciate you for this. It's more news on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. This is Hot Edition. We're live on 3FM 927 on Facebook, also on TV3. That's on 3FM 927 as well on Facebook and on YouTube, as well as on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale and on W93.5 in Wa and beyond. Let's get into the details of some of the stories as we're having right now. And this is one that we've been following. It's been unfolding over the last at least 10 hours. The new Patriotic Party says the NPP Ashanti Regional Chair, Patriotic, also known as Chairman Wontumi, was convicted without any evidence against him. The NPP Ashanti Regional Chair, Patriotic, also known as Chairman Wontumi, has been sentenced, as we do know now, to 20 years imprisonment, according to the party at an ongoing press conference. In fact, it's just ended some few minutes ago, led by the party's General Secretary, Justin Kodia Frimpong. They've rejected the conviction, which, according to them, sought to create the impression that the government is fighting illegal mining activities. Now, we're going to bring you what the party's chair, that's the General Secretary of the party, has been saying at the press conference, which ended not too long ago, recalling exactly what you're going to do after today. Take a listen to him.
Afano Southeast and his DC, who was sacked from a chief's palace after they alleged that he was heavily involved in Galamsey in their tradition. Assumptions and inferences which, in our view, could not amount to proof beyond reasonable doubt. That is why we firmly believe that his conviction is a travesty of justice and has to be overturned on appeal. Fellow Ghanaians, equally disturbing is the broader context within which this prosecution has taken place. A troubling pattern is emerging in our country, a pattern where the government appears eager to shield its own while relentlessly pursuing perceived political opponents who have done no wrong. Today, the John Mahama-led NDC government may seek to celebrate this conviction as evidence of its commitment to fight against illegal mining. Where there is evidence of Galamsey on a large scale engaged and supervised by leading members of John Mahama's government, we reject that narrative entirely. And I repeat, the new Patriotic Party rejects that narrative entirely. They think that the conviction of Chairman Wontumi will be the trophy to appease the Ghanaian people for their failures. This is no trophy. The Ghanaian people cannot fail to notice that while the political opponents who have done no wrong are being aggressively persecuted, questions remain unanswered regarding individuals associated with his party and government who have themselves been publicly linked to illegal mining activities. Indeed, the president himself has acknowledged that persons in his administration are involved in Galamsey. What concrete action has followed those admissions? Who are those members of the president's party that are engaged in Galamsey of which the president knows of? What has become of the petition submitted to Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, seeking an investigation into allegations concerning Mr. Joseph Yamin, the NDC national organizer, and Abanga Yakubu, vice chairman of the NDC? We are asking these questions. Mr. President, what has become of those investigations? What has happened to Honorable Mohamed Yakubu, NDC MP for Ahafo South, Ahafo Southeast, and his DC, who was sacked from a chief's palace after they alleged that he was heavily involved in Galamsey in their traditional area? What happened to the NDC MP for Aworin, Honorable Oscar Ofori Labi, who was accused by the chiefs and the people of Aworin, as well as Ghana's coalition against Galamsey, for engaging in Galamsey? Why has the nation not witnessed the same level of urgency and determinations in those matters. Justice cannot be selective. And I repeat, justice cannot be selective.
That's Justin Kodua Frimpong talking about justice not being selective. He's the General Secretary of the new Patriotic Party there. It's a press conference that ended some few minutes ago. The party's clear position on Chairman Wontumi being sentenced to 20 years in prison. They say that he is essentially a political prisoner. They're vowing to appeal this conviction. Martin Pebo is private legal practitioner. In fact, he's followed this case quite closely. Counsel, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Okansi.
From where you said, is Chairman Wontumi a political prisoner, as the NPP has just vowed, because in their view, due process wasn't followed at all throughout the process of this trial?
Oh, it's unfortunate that Chairman Wontumi is being referred to as a political prisoner. It's not good. I thought that, you see, with what's happening, I thought that the NPP would rather look at how to be conciliatory on this matter, then rather channel their energies to see how to get him a pardon after 5 to 7 years. But with this one, they are muddying the waters. So let's go straight to the law. I was in court when the judge read her opinion, or will I say ordinarily, the judgment. It was very sound. That, you see, I say, so in this one, the key prosecution witness was the very person who undertook the galamsey. You see, the very person who to me gave the concession to do the galamsey is that person who testified against Wontumi. So the evidence was solid. That's I heard the name Henry Okum. Yeah.
Yes.
I kept when I was listening to I hope it's
Okum,
K,
yeah.
not D. Okum.
No. Yes, that's the
Hello?
prosecution witness too. The PWT,
Hello?
correct? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a bit faint.
No.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Counsel?
Yes. Yes.
I was saying that's the prosecution witness too, the second prosecution witness on this matter, correct?
Yes.
Yes. But,
So is that person who testified against Wontumi? He was the very person who was allowed to do the galamsey. He said, and Wontumi couldn't confront him, couldn't shred his evidence. So Henry Okum's evidence, that's PW2, stood tall. So I think we should be, you see, we should let some good faith and honesty also pervade the political scene. Otherwise, if we seek to politicize everything that is a political prisoner, then it belies the facts. It's different. You know me. At least if I've seen something political about rape, I would have said so. It was not just this Saturday. I joined the MPP in saying that the sentence on the lady, the MPP sympathizer, Camilla Lassan, is too harsh, and then we're begging President Mama to give a pardon. You know, apart from that, other topics that have come, we've spoken for Miracles Abuaji's case, we spoke for him, Bank of Ghana, Addison, Gift to Owari. You know, many issues.
But Counsel,
so what I'm saying is that when I see something, I can say it. But this one, I don't see political prisoner.
Well, the reason why they reference, for instance, and this is one that some of Wontumi's lawyers have held. They say the state did not show evidence in court of any deal, and I'm talking about the prosecution in this case did not show in court any deed assignment, and that for them, the Land Act is quite clear on the form that a deed assignment should take. It's not just word of mouth. There must be some documentation, and that Wontumi just saying that, you know what, Henry Okum and Jesse Appiah go and take this land, do reclamation just by word of mouth. It's not enough basis for how things played out. Does this suffice?
No, at all. There has always been the law that the law looks to the substance, not the form. Law looks to the substance, not the form. So the substance here is that he has used his mouth to permit them. So even if he doesn't measure up to the form, it must be a written thing, and yet through his permission, our environment has been degraded, etc. You can't say that we should go and bring a written agreement before he, Wontumi, can be convicted. That's farcical, very illusory. I would never make such an argument. I don't even know why they'll be pressing this. It's a very symbolic argument, very symbolic. It's not a good thing to press this because it's even kind of belittles the citizenry. The key thing is, has our forestry been destroyed? Through whom? Through you. That when I say you, that he Wontumi, he doesn't deny that he gave Henry Okum and then J.C. Appiah the right to go there. So if we were to follow his argument, then the way everybody can run away from the long arm of the law is that you see that the law says the agreement must be in writing. So if you don't want to be convicted for galamsey, then don't put it in writing. Use your mouth. Then you can walk scot-free. That's what they are suggesting. It's farcical.
I see. So
in
this
first-year law
instance,
school, nobody will be encouraging such an argument.
Indeed.
I think we should get serious. That's why I said their best bet in this case is how they can send emissaries, to the president, not immediate. I mean, well, they can greet him immediate. Even it's not JM, the next NDC president, they should wait. Because as for JM has just about 2.5 years to go. Some people even don't count it 2.5. They say the last 6 months, or some even say the last 1 year is not part of the tenure. So at most 2.5 years to go. Now,
it is finished.
Get a pardon in less than 2.5 years. Ghanaians will be upset. That's why I said 5 years and above. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a ripe time. That's it. But not this argument. So you've seen it, Mr. Okansi.
Right.
If you want to avoid a galamsey conviction, instead of writing a mining lease assignment, use your mouth. Then it means that we are making a mockery of the law.
So in this instance, you would say that the court relied on the circumstantial evidence beyond whatever the Wontumi's legal team is saying, correct?
Absolutely, yes. And the judge went at length at it. At length. That thing that it must be in writing didn't even engage the judge too much. It wasn't a major argument. But the fact that circumstantial evidence generally, the circumstantial evidence the judge was referring to a lot and at length was the fact that you see that because it wasn't in writing, but now it is the evidence of, so there isn't direct evidence. Nobody saw he Wontumi use his mouth. But now it is the case that it is Henry Okum who is saying it against Wontumi. So then in that case, in order to weigh whether to accept Okum's evidence or not, the judge had to go at length on the law on circumstantial evidence. Maybe if we can just explain a bit for listeners to understand. So when we say circumstantial evidence, so from the word circumstances, judging from the circumstances of the case. That is to say that you don't have an eyewitness account. You don't have somebody who saw it, okay? You don't have somebody who heard it. All the 6 senses, somebody who touched it and felt it, somebody who smelled it. So once you don't have direct evidence of it, then when you are using indirect evidence, looking at all the circumstances, then we call it circumstantial evidence. But there are strict rules for circumstantial evidence. It has to be very, 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 very reliable. So sometimes in law, they even say it has to be capable of proving the case with mathematical accuracy. Yes, mathematical accuracy. Meaning that circumstantial evidence is not just putting suspicions. I suspect this. No.
Because it appears to be a certain way, then it means that it is indeed the case. You must prove it somewhat.
Yes.
But Counsel, just on the same path of the education you've just given us, which is very important, there are some lawyers who have also referenced the principle underpinning circumstantial evidence is that the crime should have been committed, and that crime should have been committed by the accused and the accused alone, and no other person should have committed that particular crime apart from the accused, correct?
Yes, so that is it. So in other words, that's why I was saying that circumstantial evidence means that evidence must lead to only and only one irresistible conclusion, that it is the accused who committed it. That's why I said, so some would say it must prove the crime with mathematical accuracy.
Perfect.
Different wording, yes. But it must be very, very reliable.
I see. And so in this instance, even though there was no, as it were, direct, Wontumi says, well, I did not tell you to go and do illegal mining on the land. Then the PW2, that's Harry Okum, says, well, you told me to do so, and that's why I'm doing this. So the judge essentially relied on the prosecution witness's testimony of what Wontumi said he should go and do on the land, and not what Wontumi himself is saying he did not ask him to do. Just to break it down for our listeners.
Yes, and then, but let me add this further. Not just Wontumi saying, I asked you to go and reclaim, but the other part of Wuntumi's evidence made his case fall apart. He said that when he said Henry Okum should go and reclaim, he didn't pay. How can you tell somebody go and reclaim land at a huge cost? It's Henry Okum Father Christmas. So far, it's not been proven that it's Father Christmas. But rather, Wuntumi's answer when it came to the payment was that he said Henry Okum should plant coconuts. Then when the coconuts grow, he can plug and use it to pay himself. He should wait for the coconut to grow, and then he can plug the coconut, sell, and use it to pay. It looks very farcical. And Rokumi said, no, that's not what you said. That's not it. You said I should do galamsey and then use part of the proceeds, part of the galamsey proceeds, to do the reclamation. That's why I said this type of case, the best is for them to rather see how they'll draw out a political strategy to greet JM in advance. Maybe it will be good, even though, as I said, JM, from the way the mood of the nation, JM would not grant a pardon now unless in the extremest of circumstances, people will be upset. So it's more likely the next NDC administration, that's after the 2028 elections. So when it does 5 years, so even since JM has 2.5 years to go, so that's in the middle of the term of the next administration, another 2.5 years in the next administration. So when the NDC is getting to the third year in the second term, that time, a lot of water would have passed under the bridge. So from that time up to 2032, that's a good time. That's a good time for a pardon, but not less than 5 years. People will be too upset.
I see, and Council, maybe finally, before I let you go, now the party has indicated they are going to appeal. His lawyers have also indicated they are going to appeal. In fact, and the appeal Akubi says before Wontumi went to court this morning, he spoke to him, and Wontumi has given he and the appeal Akubi instructions to appeal if he is jailed. So that is in motion already. What could be the possible outcome of this decision to appeal, as Wontumi's lawyers have just given to us?
Okay, so an appeal alone would not likely bring Wontumi out in less than, maybe, let's say, less than 1 year. The way the system runs and everything, to get Wontumi out through appeal alone, you need at least about 1 year. So rather, apart from the notice of appeal, they may rather file application for bail pending appeal. So let's say if they file the notice of appeal tomorrow, 21st, they allow them the same tomorrow to get together, file after filing the notice of appeal, whether 10 seconds or whatever later, they can file the application for bail. You see, they need to add the application, the notice of appeal to the application for bail. So when you finish filing the notice of appeal, you have to go out, go and make photocopies, and then insert it. But then, if they printed the application for bail, then they will insert the notice of appeal inside to make it complete. Then they can then they will insert the notice of appeal inside the bail application. Then they will go. Some people will go to the High Court. Most of the time, the court that convicted, most of the time, will throw it out. So others will say you have the right to just go straight to Court of Appeal. all of this will leave to them. That's their internal strategies. We will not go too much into it.
Absolutely.
So that is the one that, if it can work. Oh, and you know what? There's a snag. If they file notice of appeal and the bail application tomorrow, 21st, then they will most likely go to Court of Appeal, because on the 31st, that's the last working day for the Court of Appeal. We are going on vacation. So Court of Appeal, their legal vacation, they are not likely. So far, Court of Appeal, legal vacation, they don't work. It is the High Court that legal vacation, some of the courts to do bail application, to do injunctions, emergency cases. But as for Court of Appeal, from my experience for about 19 years now, legal vacation usually they don't sit. Supreme Court too, they don't sit. You remember when we were fighting the Demlevo case, we wanted the Supreme Court to work during the vacation to reverse the Akufo-Addo decision that Demlevo should go on leave. But the Supreme Court didn't do it that time. So I doubt that Court of Appeal will work after 31st July. So meaning just next Friday is 31st.
That's right.
So it means that, well, they will decide.
Council, appreciate you for this, and I thank you so much for the education, the clarification, as well as what the way forward would look like. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Martin Pebo is private legal practitioner. This is Hot Edition on 3FM 927, also live on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale and on W93.5 in Wa and beyond. If you're just joining us, what we've been spending some time on is Chairman Wontumi, that is Bernard Entry Boisiako, the Ashanti Regional Chair of the new Patriotic Party, who is expected. In fact, we understand that the journey to the 20 years imprisonment has just begun. If you go on our Facebook page right now, at 3FM 927, we're showing you a video of Chairman Wontumi being put into a vehicle by the CID of the Ghana Police Service. We understand from the former government spokesperson on governance security, Dr. Pagre Dankwa, who is actually a close associate to Chairman Wontumi. Chairman Wontumi has been transferred to Nsawam medium security prison as we speak. The vehicle in which he was put in moved not too long ago. So if you go on our Facebook page at 3FM 927, we have a video of the vehicle Chairman Wontumi was put in, and he's currently being transported to the Nsawam medium security prison. This is to begin his service of the 20-year prison sentence following his conviction over illegal mining activity. So that's what we're getting now. Palgrave's confirmation has come hours after the Criminal Division of the Accra High Court sentenced Chairman Wontumi to 20 years imprisonment over illegal mining activities on the Samreboi concession in the Western region. So go on our Facebook page right now at 3FM 927, also on YouTube at 3FM 927. We're streaming on YouTube and Facebook. We're showing you that video of Chairman Wontumi was being put in the vehicle by the CID of the Ghana Police Service and route to the Nsawam medium prison. Adam Sanano is the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption and also the chair of the AU Advisory Board on Corruption, Anti-Corruption, is joining us right now. Thank you so much, Mazano. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
First off, this development of Chairman Wontumi being slapped with 20 years imprisonment as a result of the matters of illegal mining activities on the Samreboi concession in the Western region. How does this get to you?
Well, I am happy to know that we've gotten to a conclusion and that there's a ruling. I think that the 20 years is substantive enough to send a certain message. I think we should be cautious not to politicize issues like this. I mean, I remember when Martin and I, some 5-6 years ago, went to the CID to ask what was happening, and were told nothing because nobody had reported. And then we came back on Monday to file a complaint on behalf of the people of Ghana. It's been 5-6 years. So, and at that time, let's not forget, Minister had stated categorically there was no concession provided, no legitimate basis for them to be in forest. And the commission said same. You know, it had been running for 2 months with no actions being taken. So, in my view, considering where we've reached, where now FDA goes to the market we are finding that vegetables, tomatoes, the things that we eat every day is not polluted to the extent that it is dangerous to human health. I think this is an important decision that is in the public interest.
And it's very important that you cite what happened in 2022, where yourself, Dr. Ken Ashigbe, and then also CDD fellow Kwame Esiedu, and that's Martin Bebo, who just went off the line. The four of you petitioned the CID of the Ghana Police Service to investigate and prosecute Akunta mining. Then this was for their alleged undertaking of illegal mining in the Tano Nimri forest. That's different from this Samreboi one. So yours was about the...
Yes, but it's just that for me, it's accumulation of actions, activities that people thought they could engage in with impunity. And that was the problem at the time, because there had been discussions for almost 2 months and no action. Nobody was coming on air, on TV to say we are taking decisive actions, irrespective of the fact that the minister had said this is not legitimate, the commission had said same. And it seemed to us that we'd reach a point where anything goes. Anybody could do anything, especially if you have certain titles and positions, you are sure to be ignored. And that definitely was not going to serve good governance in this country. So, yes, well-meaning citizens, they had to trigger something. It's not exactly the same case, which also tells me something, because this morning I was mulling over, so did the investigations ever conclude? Were any actions taken? Will our systems work any better for the future? So on one hand, yes, I'm happy that something has, found the light of day, but I'm still wondering, are systems capable of dealing with these things substantively?
Why do you have doubts about our system and whether or not it can deal with this matter substantively?
Because to date, we still didn't have a formal report from CID Ghana saying we investigated the complaint you filed, these are the findings and these are the actions we took. And considering at the time that for the two of us just walking into CID head office, we want to find out if anybody do anything, and we're told nothing is being done, that was very worrying. That a matter of that magnitude had been in the public space, nobody was taking any actions on it. And then we were being told that since you have come, you come back on Monday, file a complaint, and then we will see what we could do. And even though we filed this complaint, 4 or 5 years ago, till date, we've not been invited back. None of us has been told anything. You start wondering, do the institutions of state act in the best interest of citizens when they notice things, or they are waiting for citizens to come back again to make complaints? That worries me. But in this ruling, I think that the 20-year should serve a certain notice to people who are so inclined that you need to be cautious. Hopefully, that amounts to something.
Now, but the Tano Nimri is also a case. In fact, it's just another case currently before the court. So you are not far from drawing the correlation between what's happened in this Samreboi case and then the Tano Nimri forest matter, which is still running. So that's part of the 3 cases that Wontumi has had to answer for. That is the Exim Bank one.
It's good to know that.
Yes.
Because I was actually going to say I need to read and see what has become to the Tano Nimri forest case, and whether there's any evidence that, for example, CID did its investigation after our complaints and has added any value to the conclusions and decisions that are taken.
We'll see how that matter plays out. But you're talking about this not being political, but guess what? The NPP has just addressed a press conference. They say that Wontumi, based on what has happened now, is a political prisoner, and that 20 years is harsh, essentially.
Actually, my point was that we should not politicize it. So I'm aligning with what I'm saying is that I'm concerned that political parties saying it is political and they think it's too high. What do you mean? I mean, the court of competent jurisdiction has looked at the issue and drawn a certain conclusion. And honestly, for the rest of us as Ghanaians, for me as a citizen, I'm extremely concerned. I probably would say that 20 years is okay, but it could even have been more. Look, I got back into this country and I met a close person who was coming back from the UK just over the weekend and was coming in with vegetables. And when I asked why, I said, maybe you were out of the country when FDA went to the market and found that our tomatoes, our cabbages and whatnot has high levels of things that will kill us. So now, unless you're doing a backyard garden, you better think through where you are getting your vegetables and the rest from. I mean, it's serious. So let's not play, and assume these are, insightful issues which could be swept under the carpet. I don't think that it is appropriate for political parties to start taking positions on things like this. I'm interested in finding out from them. So what is their position on what is happening to the environment and the Galamsey? I was clear in my mind when we had to go to the CID headquarters that this was impunity of the highest order. And let's call out our own family and friends and everyone when they are doing the wrong thing and stop pretending. Clear in my mind, there was this impunity of the highest order. Nobody should come and try and think they're throwing sand in our eyes and say it is partisan or it's politically inclined. We are waiting for the 2 other cases to also be ruled on. I'm clear in my mind that there was nothing, it was clear impunity of the highest order because at a certain point people felt, okay, we are in government and we can do things and nobody is going to question us. And that's the kind of thing we should not tolerate, we should not countenance, and we should not allow it to be sustained in any form or shape.
And finally, before I let you go, your colleague in this campaign against illegal mining, obviously all of us are, but there's you and together with Engineer Ken Ashigbe and the 2 others, Martin Pebo and then also Dr. Esiedu, you petitioned the CID. Engineer Ken Ashigbe says, in his view, Wontumi should have received the maximum 25-year sentence because the judge, in his view, was quite lenient with 20 years. Is it a position you share with?
92.7.
I understand, Ken, because, we've been in the space watching how everything deteriorated, and, very soon you are just looking at pictures and you're wondering, is this motherland Ghana? I will not begrudge the 20 years, but I agree with him that it could have been more. I won't take that away. I mean, I agree with him that it could have been more. I'm okay with the 20. I think it sends a clear message. 20 years is not small time, But yes, it could have been more. So they should not joke around. Maybe, how there are some instances where if you make more in the good old days, if you are misbehaving in school, they say, oh, so you want extra punishment. Maybe you want some more punishment. I think that, listen, let the politicians not underestimate how Ghanaians feel about this matter. When there's impunity, let's call it out for what it is. And let's not begin to allow persons who think that they now have resources and they have influence to take the rest of us for granted and do the kind of things that undermine opportunities and the environment for the next generation of Ghanaians. That should not be countenanced.
Adam Sanano, appreciate you for this. Thank you so much for joining us here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7.
And thank you for having me.
Adam Sanano is the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. Also, the chair of the African Union Advisory Board Against Corruption. Joining us there. And instructive that we spoke to Adam Sanano because he, together with Martin Pebu, whom you just heard a few minutes ago, Engineer Ken Ashigbe, the lead campaigner for the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, CEO of the Chamber of Mines, and also Kwame Asiedu, a fellow of the Center for Democratic Development. 4 of them in 2022 petitioned the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service to investigate and prosecute owners of Akonta Mining, that's Chairman Wontumi, for allegedly undertaking illegal mining activities in Tano Nimere Forest Reserve. This is different from this Samreboi matter we're talking about. It's the basis for Chairman Wontumi being slapped with a 20-year jail term. And as I indicated, you're just joining us. If you go on our Facebook page, at 3FM927, go on our YouTube page at 3FM927, Facebook, YouTube. You're streaming live right now. We're showing you the video of Chairman Wontumi being taken to Station 1 Medium Prison. And the vehicle moved not too long ago, and we captured him being put in that vehicle by the CID of the Ghana Police Service to the Insom Medium Prison. So if you are on our Facebook page at 3FM927, also on YouTube at 3FM 92.7, you would see that video streaming right now as we speak, with Chairman Wontumi being put in that vehicle, and it moved as we speak to the Insom Medium Prison, and we're keeping an eye on how things are playing out right now. But a former lawyer of Chairman Wontumi and the Apia Kobi says this morning, before Chairman Wontumi went to court, he spoke to him, and Chairman Wontumi did indicate that just in case he is slapped with a jail term, he and the Apia Kobi, although was his lawyer, should start an appeal process. He should appeal this particular ruling. Take a listen to him.
Do remind me. And we will rely on this evidence to convict somebody for 20 years. We are in Ghana.
Mr. Apiakubi,
circumstances that I have enumerated to you suggest that there has been an attempt taken by all means, because the witnesses who came to court, prosecution witness number one, I don't know me from anywhere. I was never there when they discussed land reclamation and planting of coconut, let alone mining. And he says that I was engaged by PW2, and that anything done on the land has been at the instance of PW2. And that if we mine and got gold, the gold is for PW2. The money that was taken by the police is for PW2. The amenities that they retrieved from us is for PW2. You know, PW2 had earlier on given caution statement saying that I did not do any mining.
So that's Andy Apia Kubi there. Now let's go on to some timelines, just for the uninitiated, those of you who are just joining this conversation as to how Chairman Wontumi is currently being conveyed to the Insom Medium Prison to continue his life there. Wisdom is joining us right now for a bit of a recall. What do we know?
All right, so Alfred, so I must put on record that this particular Samreboi case is one of 3 cases against Chairman Wontumi. We have the Tano Nimre Forest Reserve case as well. We have the Ghana Exim Bank case. So the Samreboi connection case had to do with the count 1 and the count 4 of the 6 counts in the case, and that's the conviction and the sentencing that we are just talking about, the 20 years to on count 1 and count 4, both to run concurrently, and 10,000 penalty units as well to be paid in terms of fine. For the Tano Nimre Forest, currently the trial is pending, and for the Ghana Exim Bank case too, there's a plea bargaining negotiations that's currently ongoing. So I'll run you through some timelines. So Alfred, this case actually started, the trial began on the January 12, 2026, where the prosecution commenced presenting witnesses and evidence as well. By February 4, 2026, the prosecution closed its case, and February 18, 2026, the defense, that's Chairman Wontumi's lawyers, also filed no case submission at the High Court. By March 16, 2026, the no case submission was dismissed by Justice Audrey Kokuvite, who says that the prosecution had established a prima facie case. And by April 20, 2026, the High Court also refuses further delay because they had filed a defense that there is an interrogatory appeal that is pending, but this was also thrown out by the High Court. By May 7, the defense witness also statements were accepted, and we proceeded, and Wontumi testified on May 2021, 2026. Then, on June 3rd, 2026, the defense also closed its case, and by 29th June 2026, the judgment was moved to July 20th, that's today. that's by July 16, just 4 days ago, there was a last-minute constitutional application where the defense filed an application asking the High Court to suspend the judgment and refer constitutional questions to the Supreme Court. But the application was dismissed and the judgment was delivered. So that's where we came from. That's where we are now, by case of where we started the prosecution, the trials, and the final conviction and the declaration by Justice Kokuvite.
Good stuff there. Wisdom Safo is with our research desk here at 3FM 927. Just for those of you who are hearing this case for the first time, Wisdom, thank you so much. Recalling all the events. It's live here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7, also on Kesmi 107.1 and on W93.5 NWA and beyond. I'm going to go for this quick break. When we're back, we'll go straight to the Ashanti region because Chairman Wontumi is the Ashanti regional chair of the new Patriotic Party. We've been to the party's office in the Ashanti region and also Chairman Wontumi's residence. There's a lot happening as we speak. So stay with us. William Evansinkum will be connecting with us from that particular location that's in the Ashanti region after this quick break.
I'm not afraid to be different. I'll be loud and bold. I know they blended. Born from a vibrant culture, I did dance to the beat of my own drum. I'll be the vibe.
In a world where everybody will follow trends, I create them. I'll be trailblazer. And that's the originality.
And when we raise a glass, it's a celebration of who we are. Crafted with flavorful African herbs and fruits to honor people. Enjoy your origin. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18. Not recommended to pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved. I'm not afraid to be different. I'll be loud and bold. I know they blended. Born from a vibrant culture, I did dance to the beat of my own drum. I'll be the vibe.
In a world where everybody will follow trends, I create them. I'll be trailblazer. And that's the originality.
And when we raise a glass, it's a celebration of who we are. Crafted with flavorful African herbs and fruits to honor people. Enjoy your origin. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18. Not recommended to pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. It's live here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. We're also on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale and beyond. And on W93.5. Let's go straight to the Ashanti region. As we do know, Chairman Wontumi is the Ashanti regional chair of the new Patriotic Party. William Evansinkum is our Northern Bureau chief. William is connecting with us right now. William, good evening.
Good evening, Alfred.
There's been a lot of activity amongst the new Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region. I know you've been to the party headquarters, Chairman Wontumi's residence. Tell us what's happening in these two locations as we speak.
Well, so I started off from the party head office here in the Ashanti region, and it is an improvised office. That is to say, we are using the 2028 flag bearer, former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign office, as an improvised party office for any other party activity. But that place looks very inactive because chunk of the executives were at Hasta Lodge, where they were conducting vetting for regional executive aspirants. So they spent almost a lion's share of their day being at Hasta Lodge to ensure that that particular exercise is conducted. So that is where we have been engaging some of them who have been sharing views on the current state of affairs. Here we are talking about the fact that the Ashanti regional chairman, that is the current Ashanti regional chairman, who is also vying to become the national chairman, has been convicted for his engagement in illegal mining. So here, for his supporters, I'm talking about the ardent supporters of Wontumi, it's a sad one for them and a hard pill to swallow.
And indeed, rightly so, as expected. And you went to the Samreboi area as well, and together with some other persons who have been talking to you. And I know you did speak to some of the close associates of Chairman Wontumi. Are they giving you a clear indication of how the coming days will look like for them?
They are banking their hopes in the legal team of Wontumi. You know, they have heard that they are also preparing for an appeal, possibly to review the conviction, which was read out today. So it is something that they are banking their hopes in. But beyond that, they are also banking their hopes in amnesty. That is to say, the president granting Wontumi amnesty, which they believe has been happening over the years, especially when it involves political figures. So it's also one area that they are looking forward to. But it also interests you to hear some of the supporters of Wontumi say that, well, maybe, so to some of them, they believe that this whole thing is embroiled in political witch hunt. They are not even talking about the fact that Wontumi currently is facing the music as a result of his involvement in illegal mining, but they think that because of Wontumi, some of his, infamous statement passed on the current president. That is why he's being punished. That is their view, or that is their opinion as far as the current development is concerned. So what they also want to see, or what they're also telling the executive, that, well, they need to go to the president and apologize to him. Maybe some way, somehow, the president will accept the apology and then reverse whatever predicament that Wontumi find himself at this material moment.
Appreciate you for this, William. Thank you so much. William Evans Nkumesa, Northern Bureau Chief. In there, let's still stay in the Samreboi area, and Thomas Ando is the assemblyman for Bekwai, a boys here where Samreboi is located, and is joining us on the telephone. Ms. Ando, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Appreciate you for joining us. How are the people in Samreboi taking this news of Chairman Wontumi being jailed for 20 years? For illegal mining.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think there's a mixed reaction. Some people are happy, others are not happy. Some people are happy because of some destruction that led to some flooding here. Some people are not happy because, as we speak, people are still mining, people are still doing galamsey. So it's a mixed reaction here. Like I said, we are not happy because, for me, I buy cocoa, and we have seen that some destruction of cocoa because of illegal mining here. So, like I said, some people are happy, others are not happy because of, some reasons, like I stated.
Give me an idea of how galamsey has impacted on your livelihood in Samreboi.
Oh, a lot. Because previously, we have more cocoa when you go to Aboesie Enclave. When you go to Elephant Park, we have more cocoa. But because of illegal mining, now you cannot even see the cocoa. It's like a desert. Now when we talk of Ghana cocoa, Samreboi, every year we become, I think, first or second. But because of illegal mining, we are losing most of our cocoa here. Now we get more cocoa in Elembele area. But when you come to Samreboi here, because of illegal mining, it has affected the production of cocoa.
I thank you so much, Ms. Ando. Thank you for joining us with this reality check in the Samreboi area. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's Thomas Ando, is assemblyman for Bekwai, Aboesie. That's where the Samreboi is located, and giving us a reality check of how they are impacted by illegal mining. We spoke to some of the residents in Samreboi, and this is what they had to say about what's happened regarding Chairman Wontumi and the 20 years jail term for his engagement in illegal mining in this particular area. That is Samreboi. Take a listen.
Oh, Chairman Wontumi no. Obaye no, obi ha sama boy man o. Hwe nipa baakofo. Ekwan ofa so ma nsuo yiri afa sama boy ku nyina. Na ni nyina ho de ne free se na power wo mo wonti. Cause ye hwe man hu se adwuma na mo ye na nya ne mra kwa so. Ben so ena mama mu na ne panyin so wa ba mi ti. O se Chairman Wontumi se o ye de o ye. O se ye de 20 years say afum e chan to aso. O ye ne na nkoyi ma ye. Iti oyeni pala na se ne ejere ne de to me de wa haye na so law na taking course je ja na ka sa do bi aso be ye nti o deserve say ejere because o man ho so wo sama boy ha emu ko ye ko mani pa wa ko wi
can say so ko kura na se ko no enyire ya se okuta nti mo ndu so okuta papers na wa se no tuni nyire butu ko ni e go na sisi apepo a ka ensu yire pem no pepo nyire mo dri ni na nti mama ya haya boy papa boy for the huna ma na papa che se ensu ni yire kura na wa de he nko nti ese amam pen fo se mo twa amana to so amana no mo twa mo fele ese o mo meka ya mo fele amana no ma me ensu mo ntoy mo fele amana na e ho ye betoy
me ya batan o say some from Sobia Bamba as one consider no. Then so be ya bonia, you just can be turned to so. I'm a nitia. Was I sassy? I know Chris can you imagine no, ever to me, dear, I be a man. Ghana for beyond the prison, so Mugo Munya, but to me, dear, be a field. Now, more coaching it to no idea, never. Yes, Rama, Ghana for to chat it is the adults. Minim the Ochabin Bakabi Buagana Bansu Ayadi, so be I am from Son watching Atuma. Minim the Chabin about to be Huni baby or Zod the Bayano. Almost no me be been found. Na Brandon only on the farm.
I'm saying, Chairman Wontumi, in fact, I've had about 4 because I'm saying there, I'm saying, or young dada.
So that's, these are the residents of Samreboi talking in there. In fact, some of you have been sharing your thoughts on Facebook. We'll read those messages after this quick one. And Mutala Yakubu is here with the latest in the world of sports, and is what's a person of the baton to the next generating of 19 years, isn't it? Now, that number 19, yeah. Whoever staked yesterday would have won a lot of money. Yeah, yes. Let's get into what you have today.
Yes, one generation gone, another generation coming up. Yesterday, it was Spain against Argentina in the World Cup final. Spain beating Argentina by a goal to nil. Casey, an extra time strike from Ferran Torres, the Barcelona forward. And that was not even the most captivating scene in there. Right after the game, Lionel Messi moved towards the crowd. He was being hailed, then he started shedding tears. Wow. Then we are being told that he told some members of the Argentine team that could be the last time we see Lionel Messi on the world stage, and that could be the last time he dons the Argentine jersey. So after 2 decades, Lionel Messi might not play another World Cup, and we already know that Cristiano Ronaldo will not be back. So after 2 decades of doing the same debate over and over again, absolutely. I think every child that loves football has gone through that phase of Messi and Ronaldo, who is the best.
Who's the GOAT?
And after 20 years, we are still debating Messi and Ronaldo.
No, who's the GOAT?
It tells you how difficult it is. Now there's a phrase that is going around.
True.
Your goat, my goat.
Everybody has a goat.
Yes, everybody has a goat. But it looks like that is the end of Messi and Ronaldo. We may not see them on the world stage. Now it will be the likes of Mbappe, Lamine Yamal. They will be battling it out there.
Oh, that's a whole phase gone, eh?
Yeah.
Sad one. But what more do we know?
What more you need to know is that the entire organization of the World Cup has come to a closure. There are different perspectives as to what the World Cup really entailed and how the organization went. From a sports journalist point of view, this is a well-organized World Cup, I can tell you. It's the most expensive World Cup ever. but it's the World Cup that made a lot of money as well because of the ticket sales. This is the World Cup that has the most expensive ticket. The final, there was a ticket that was selling as high as 100,000 US.
Absolutely. I saw it on, and someone says he spent throughout the World Cup period almost $500,000.
Of course, and it was the basketball system that was incorporated in football, where we have the ring side. This one, we have the pitch side, where you had your own, tables and chairs sitting like a beach kind of setting. And that is what FIFA wanted to bring in, that American vibe. It's something that they want to really incorporate in our World Cup, that everywhere it goes, they want to bring a bit of the culture of the people in there. It started in Qatar when Argentina won. They gave Lionel Messi a rope. Yesterday, each member of the Spanish team got a replica of the trophy, and also got a ring. That is something that is common in the NBA. So maybe if it comes to Ghana one day, we'll be giving players Fugu and Kente. So that is what they want to do. But it's been a very successful World Cup. But a few hitches here and there with regards to travel restrictions and others. It has been one of the most successful World Cups. And America is being healed. Donald Trump is a happy man. He says that he's done what the world thought he couldn't do, and he has more under his sleeve when it comes to the 2028 Olympic Games. It is going to Los Angeles, and USA would be at the forefront again.
I see. And yesterday he was the star of the moment.
Of course.
When they were presenting the cup to normally you would have. He was supposed to descend, and he decided to stay on the podium.
He wanted to be in that historic photo. I saw the FIFA president Gianni Infantino calling him to the side. He was like, no.
He ran across.
Let me wait and take the picture here, because for future children will come and ask, who is this man? Everyone will ask, who is this man? But I think overall it's been a very successful World Cup, especially for the organization and in terms of player welfare, fans. I mean, everyone was excited. It was like a festival for people. A lot of people have always planned to go to the US. So this was like an opportunity for them to go and experience the World Cup in full. So we are hoping that 2030 would even be better. Spain, Morocco, Portugal would be hosting that one.
Good stuff. And what a story for Spain to win it, and they're going to now be the host for the next one. Great stuff. Mutala, appreciate you for this. And one of the things that we would also say was outstanding for us in the World Cup was the coverage by you. Your team at 3 Sports. Congratulations to you.
I think thanks to Michael Otieje as well, putting the team together, the CEO herself and TB, and also Apefa Infojo of APL. They all came together, put their heads together, and they came out with magic.
Thank you so much. Very well deserved in there. I want to say thank you so much for staying with us here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. A number of your messages. This one from Samuel Shitu on Facebook says, what I don't understand is that, is it the president who sentenced Chairman Wontumi or the court after hearing his defense based on the allegation of illegal mining? Franklin Kujo, president of Imani Africa, says this is so sad. Also, Toki Skyman Lamarck says a journey of 20 years starts with a day. And then also Johnson Efa, the law is the law. If you found guilty under the law must, you say, deal with you. Thank you so much for sending your messages at 3FM 927 on Facebook. On behalf of the rest of the team, Sixtus Don Ulo, Rosalind, together with the rest of the team, thank you so much. Technical support from Isaac. I am Alfred Concept. Have a great evening. Join me at 10 p.m. on TV3 for Ghana Tonight. The drive continues with DJ Abiam and Trig Martin.